Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So today, we're looking at my swing mechanics from 2008. This is my first and only Major League home run. Now, someone online sent me this game, so I have a couple of new games. I'd give them a shout out, but I don't even know if they told me their name. I don't think they did. So I just have their email. But thank you so much for sending these over. So let's look at it real quick. I'm going to play it once here for you. All right. And now let's go back. Now let's talk about this real quick before I break it down. Couple things. If you know my story, you know that when I went to the major leagues, it was in the midst of my worst season ever, 2008. I hit terribly in the minor leagues in AAA. Completely forgot how to swing. Just couldn't swing. Couldn't figure it out. It wasn't until the last month of the season that I kind of figured it out with the help of one of my teammates. And I actually went to the major leagues when I got called up that year. I had one good month in August, the month before I got called up. I hit 300. Every other month, I hit like 150. So I had just started to kind of figure out my swing. So I get to the major leagues, and our hitting coach and coaching staff says, I know you had a tough year this year. We're going to work on some things. We're going to give you a little bit of new swing. They gave me this leg kick right here. So I'd never done a leg kick really ever. If you saw my first major league game, I'm very spread out, very wide, no stride at all. That's more of the style that I'm normally in. But we're trying like a leg kick here, and I just really struggled with it. And so when I watch this, when I watch this, I actually don't even think it's me. It's really strange. I'm like, who the hell is this right here? That's the first thing that I think of when I see this. The second thing is, I just don't like this swing at all. Like, I'm not surprised. Well, I'm not surprised that I only hit 200 for a couple of reasons. One, because I was trying a lot of new things. It's really hard to hit in the major leagues, but especially when you're trying all these new things. But number two, the things we were trying, they weren't, now that I'm looking at this, and I've actually never seen this swing from this angle before. This is the first time I've gotten this game. So I have a clip of my first home run that I was sent, and it's not from the side, it's just from the front. And so watching this, I'm just, I don't like it. So let's talk about a couple of things that I do not like. So the first thing, the thing that I really don't like about this is my upper body, right? And so one thing I really struggled with at the major leagues was that I was constantly kind of cutting across the ball. I couldn't drive the ball to the opposite field. Now, I never had a ton of power to the opposite field in my life, but I had, if you look at my 2007 year, the year before this year, when I hit 21 home runs, I hit a lot of pulled home runs, but I drove the ball the other way. Didn't hit a ton of home runs that way, only a couple, but I could hit a lot of doubles that way. Here, nothing. Everything I hit in the big leagues was pulled, pulled, pulled. When I watch this swing, no wonder why it's pulled. So you can see, when I start to go, I'm always working from the outside, and then I'm always cutting across, right? So you can see my path is really kind of down and this way. Now, this ball is not middle in. This ball's like middle away, and I still pull it. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Sometimes you're going to pull balls that are a little bit away, but this swing right here is not going to allow me to drive anything that way. So, one, I'm always kind of going out. You can see my lead arm working down instead of up. You can see my upper body not getting behind my leg. So all the things that I talk about now, I wasn't doing any of it. Now, at that time, I didn't know I didn't know this stuff. I also, I'm just really quick to just kind of be off the ball. So I'm just, I'm flying that way, and now I'm going to cut across. Nothing is happening deep back here. My barrel's not getting in the zone early. I'm not working from the inside. I'm not swinging away from my body. So again, it's not surprising that I struggled. And again, I know it's a short sample. I didn't have a ton of at-bats. But if you gave me more at-bats and I kept taking this swing, I wasn't going to hit very well. I might hit over 200, right? But I'm probably not going to be a 270 hitter with this swing. I'm probably going to be a low 200s hitter. And so, we talk a lot about, we talk turn the triangle or the square or the circle, whatever you want to call it. I call it the triangle. Lead arm working up. Just don't see it. And again, everything's so quick to just want to go that way. And anytime you're quick to go this way, especially with your upper body, Barrel's always going to cut across. Barrel's always going to follow your body. So I go this way, my barrel goes this way. And I want my barrel to be able to work more through the zone, be able to hit the way. If the ball's away, I should be able to drive it the other way. If the ball's in, then I can pull it. But when I'm from the inside, you can make an adjustment. You can go and release the barrel outside, or you can release the barrel middle, or you can keep the barrel in. All right? But right, so just not, and this is one of the reasons why too, in 2007, when I hit BP, I could crush the ball. Like, I remember in 2007, and I hit 21 home runs. Some people say, oh, it's a Cal League. I was there. I know what it was like the type of bat speed I was creating. When I get in BP, that was one of the only years in my life where someone could say, hey, Matt, hit a home run here. And I'd be like, okay. And I'm not saying I'm going to hit it every time, but I could hit them. When I got to the big leagues, like, I'd hit some home runs and batting practice every day, but not like I could in 2007. I just couldn't create the same bat speed. Right? And it's just the way my body's working together. Like, you can just see, we talk a lot about when this leg turns, like, I've got to take my upper body, and I've got to, we talk a lot about that tilt move, north-south, try to get my upper body back behind my leg. We talk about creating stretch or separation. Like, you just don't see it as much, right? When my lower body starts to do this, you can see my upper body just goes that way. And so my upper body never gets, this part of my body never gets back behind this leg at all. And so now my barrel kind of fights, again, over the top and across. And so there's no real whip in my swing. I don't want to bash this swing. Like, I feel like all I'm doing is bashing, but I do feel like, looking at this, if I looked at this swing, like if this was a player of mine right now, I'd be like, oh man, we got a lot of stuff we got to work on right now. And so, but let me know what you think and what you see. I don't know if you see the same things that I see, but that's what I see. And the craziest part is, again, when I was playing, well, one, we weren't watching a ton of videotape. Then I watched some videotape, but I didn't really know what to look at. Like, if I watched this back in the day, I would have known what to look at. I would have been like, I don't know. Looks like I hit a home run. The funny thing is, when I swing and hit this ball here, I was watching the game footage, and the announcers say, and there's a beautiful swing. You can tell why he was a first-round pick with that swing right there. And I look at this, and I'm like, I'm puking all over myself. I'm like, that is not a first-round swing right here. That's a swing that's going to get you out of the big leagues, like, pretty quickly. Actually, probably about a month. So that's all I got. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself, but I don't think so. Just not super happy with this swing. And again, I remember thinking, like, this isn't even me. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I just don't look like I'm in the ground at all. And again, I think, for me, everyone's different. Like, for some reason, when I put my feet really close together like this and I pick my front foot up like this, then I totally lose it. I can't lower my back leg as well. I'm not in the ground. Like, I feel like I'm hitting above the ground. I always say it looks like I'm hitting with ice skates on, or a player that doesn't get into the ground. Like, I always say, it looks like they're hitting with ice skates on. And that's what I felt like. And that's what it looks like to me right here. I'm not getting into the ground. Right? I'm not utilizing this back leg. When I watch my old film, and now when I watch really good hitters, this back leg, like, they get this back leg loaded, and this thing fires. They use the ground. The energy works up their leg and through the rest of their body. And again, right here, I don't see it. I'm just kind of falling into my front leg. This leg isn't loaded great. It's not going to turn as fast. And then we talked about all the other stuff. So anyways, I'm going to stop now before I get too aggravated at myself, because now watching this, I'm getting upset. I wish I'd go back and do it all over again, but the problem is, as I say, hindsight's always 20/20, and you're never gonna, I get asked a lot. They're like, "Oh man, if you went back now and played with everything you know, like, would you be better?" Of course, I'd be better, but every player would be better, because every player, well, maybe not every player. Some players get out of playing and then they just go and, I don't know, they go fishing. But I got out of playing and I went into coaching and I went into studying swings and I went into all that stuff. So I feel like I feel like looking back, like, this is me knowing nothing. Right? And now, I'm not saying I know everything now, but I know a lot more now. So I could have really helped myself. But no player, I'm 20, I just turned 23 right here. No 23-year-old. Most 23-year-olds don't know a ton about their swing and about the swings in general. Especially back then when there wasn't, there was YouTube, but it was like just kind of getting popular. You couldn't go and learn stuff about the swing as much. You could read books, a couple books, Ted Williams books. I probably should have read that a little bit more. But there just wasn't as much information. There's so much information now. And so, Make sure you learn your swing, understand your swing, know why you're successful. It'll really help you. Anyways, that's all we have. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Don't make fun of my swing too bad. I did enough of that right now over the last 10 minutes. So, anyways, let me know what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Antonelli Baseball if you want to watch some MLB The Show 20. I'm streaming that. And then also, thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. That's all we have, and we'll talk to you later.